So the Grid Edge Summit has come to a close, and today on day 4, the topic was all around smart energy solutions and services. So what were my takeaways? Flexibility, you're building in a fleet, and a good dose of reality. So flexibility, that's been a buzzword in the energy transition for the past couple of years. We're all familiar with the wholesale energy markets and how big power generators play in. But the whole thing around the grid edge is, how do you get your, I suppose, resources at the grid edge, be that the building, the local generation, your battery storage, how do you get to play in the flexibility markets that are coming? And whether that's for kilowatt hours or power or capacity, auxiliary services, whatever. The whole thing today was around how you take all that, the technology complexity and the complexity around the business models and the regulations, and how you kind of wrap it up as energy as a service. And they had a couple of interesting examples around taking it from the, again, making it real, taking it from the technology of a microgrid and how it works, and playing into what's coming down the line in terms of the local energy markets. Now, what do you call them? Energy communities or microgrids playing in at the city or the whatever local neighborhood level. But that was quite interesting. And what was also quite interesting was that I typically think of a digital twin as an IoT, operational technology, OT kind of model, but they were using the digital twin as a way of modeling the behavior of your system going forward. So you can predict the financial implications and how you plan it out. So that was interesting. The second one was around, which I thought was quite clever. Think of your building as not a standalone entity, but your building is part of a fleet, and your building is part of a fleet of grid edge resources that now play into that whole flexibility of the grid. That was quite clever. That's a different paradigm shift. And the third one was around a good dose of reality. The last session of the day was all around, well, if grid edge and all this flexibility and all that technology is so wonderful, how come it's not exactly everyone's doing it? And they called out 3 reasons. One was that it's not core business. And a lot of people in the companies today, well, yeah, that's all for the future, but it's not core business. And when you're trying to set up a whole grid edge project, you have to compete with the core business for dollars. That's hard. And the third one is that because there are a lot of unknowns, and it is complex to set up this whole, virtual power plants and your building playing into the energy market and there's a lot of unknowns. So people kind of go, sure, look, what we have is okay. So if it works, don't fix it. And then they went through kind of the financial logic and how you would overcome some of those barriers. So that was quite interesting. So that's it. The Grid Edge Summit has come to an end. Now, all the replays will be available on the website over the next couple of weeks for on-demand viewing. But hey, on behalf of me and my digital twin.
Hey, folks.
Thanks, Siemens Smart Infrastructure. It's been a fun week. And have a good
Bye-bye.
weekend.
Can we go play Fortnite now? What?